Let's talk about something kind of weird. That feeling you get, that nagging sense of dissatisfaction, even right after a huge win. Well, what if I told you that feeling, that little voice telling you it's not good enough, is actually a powerful sign that you've got a highly intelligent mind? Stick around, we're going to break this down.
I mean, have you ever been there? You just crushed a massive project. Or maybe you finally got that promotion you've been working on for months. But instead of popping the champagne, you just feel meh. There's this quiet, sinking feeling that it's just not quite right. It's super frustrating, right? Well, it turns out there's a really fascinating reason for it.
Yep, that's the voice, isn't it? The one that just loves to show up right when you're supposed to be celebrating. It's that inner critic that can look at a masterpiece and somehow zoom in on the one tiny flaw. It is absolutely relentless, it's persistent, and if you're a high achiever, chances are it's your constant companion.
Okay, so to really get a handle on what's going on here, we need to give this voice a name. Let's call it your internal judge. Sounds a little dramatic, I know, but personifying it like this is key. It helps us see it for what it is. Not some absolute truth about our failures, but a specific mental process we can actually observe. And, believe it or not, even work with.
So here's where your internal judge lives and breathes, right in that gap between your vision and the reality. See, on one side, you've got this flawless, absolutely perfect idea in your head. And then, on the other side, you've got the actual result. The one that had to deal with deadlines, budgets, and all those messy real-world compromises. That gap? That's the breeding ground for dissatisfaction.
And this whole thing actually has a name. Some psychologists call it the curse of possibility. Think about it. It's your ability to see the perfect potential so clearly that makes the actual result feel like it falls short. The sharper your vision of what could be, the more painful the reality of what is can sometimes feel. It's a total curse. Or is it? Okay, so we've got a name for the feeling, we know where it comes from. But what's the real engine driving this whole experience? Why are some of us more prone to this curse than others? Well, let's peel back the curtain and get to the actual science behind it.
The answer, it turns out, lies in a pretty cool concept called cognitive reflection. And no, this isn't just about thinking. It's about thinking about your thinking. It's like a superpower, a higher-order mental skill. It's that ability to literally hit pause on your gut reaction, take a big step back, and critically look at your own work and your own thoughts for flaws, for other ways to do things.
So, people who are high in this cognitive reflection stuff, they're constantly doing these three things. 1, they question their gut feelings. They don't just accept their first idea. 2, they're super aware of their own potential flaws. And 3, and this is the big one, they can vividly imagine all the other ways something could have been done, and yeah, often better ways. Does that sound a little familiar? Because that internal judge of yours, it's being powered by these exact abilities. All right, here it is. This is the moment, the big reframe for this whole idea. That nagging voice you've been fighting your whole life, that feeling of never good enough, it is not a character flaw. It's not a bug in your system. It's a feature. And it's a feature of a highly, highly capable mind. Look at it this way. We get so stuck on the feeling, right? The chronic self-doubt, the perfectionism, the dissatisfaction. But the real story, the one we need to focus on, is the cause. That dissatisfaction, it's just a byproduct of high cognitive reflection. That perfectionism, it's a symptom of having an incredibly clear vision. See, these aren't feelings of failure. They're more like the growing pains of a high-octane intelligence at work.
Just let that sink in for a second. The very thing that might be causing you the most stress is actually direct evidence of one of your greatest strengths. Your ability to see the flaws so clearly, that is precisely what makes you so good at creating amazing things in the first place. It was never a curse. It's a superpower. You just need to learn how to use it.
So how do we actually do that? How do we turn this judge from an enemy into an ally? Well, it's a simple 3-step process. First, just acknowledge the judge. When you hear that voice, don't fight it. Just go, there's my cognitive reflection kicking in. Label it. That's it. Step 2, translate the criticism. When the judge says, this part is weak, what it really means is, I can see a version where this part is even stronger. It's not an insult, it's a roadmap. And finally, step 3, act on that insight. Use that gap between reality and the ideal not as a stick to beat yourself with, but as fuel for your next creative step.
Because when it comes right down to it, your internal judge isn't trying to stop you. It's not there to tell you you've failed. Think of it more like your brain's built-in high-definition GPS. It's just pointing out the distance between where you are right now and the incredible destination it knows you can reach. It's literally showing you the map of your own potential.
And that's really the big takeaway here. This whole thing isn't about silencing that inner voice. It's about learning to speak its language. So, the final question is for you. Now that you know its source, now that you know that feeling of dissatisfaction is actually a sign of your own clarity and intelligence, how are you going to listen to it differently? How are you going to turn your sharpest critic into your greatest tool?
Subscribe for advanced psychological insights into your own personality.